What is up, YouTube? What up? Welcome to South Asian Man Evolution. Believe this is episode number 13. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, or you could join the stream by clicking the link in the chat. See who comes on tonight. I'm going to give it some time, as always, to let people roll in. So, questions, here to answer your questions on dating, self-improvement related topics. See what's up. Welcome. If you can hear me, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Doing this kind of early today, but see what's up. It is thunderstorming outside pretty badly, so if at any time the stream just like cuts out, apologies. Power outage most likely is what happened. But yeah, we'll give it some time, see who tunes in. Yo, drop a 1 in the chat if you could hear me, bro. Your questions. All right, dope. We got a 1. Your questions in the chat. What's going on, man? Two people watching, drop your questions in the chat. Let's get this show on the road. Doing all right, man. Can't complain. Thunderstorming out here, but hopefully no power outages. Fingers crossed. See, we go for maybe an hour, 15 minutes or so today. Got some time. Got any questions? Drop them in the chat. See who comes on. One thing I do want to address, this is kind of funny. Honestly, a lot of people are really, really stupid when it comes to just using common sense and like kind of thinking before they just post comments on stuff. Why would some of you guys listen to male face ratings? First of all, I think one of the dumbest things that a man can do is listen to another man like give somebody like an actual number specifically in terms of like a face rating. I get maybe like an SMV rating makes more sense, but an actual like facial rating, I mean, at the end of the day, the best people you could listen to that give you the most accurate facial rating would be women. So when I'm in the comments and I see people being like, "Oh, you're a you're a 5 out of 10 facially. It's kind of just like, look at my past videos. Look at the Hinge videos. Look at the dating app videos. Look at the cold approach videos. Every single girl that I've either matched with, gotten the number from, and even just in my personal life, gotten on dates with in general, they've all been at least 6s, 7s, or above. So, what makes people in general think that a male face rating means anything? It's funny, man. I was reading some comments the other day on like somebody rating me when I gave like a looks maxing advice on like a video. And they're like, "Oh, you ain't a 7 out of 10." I'm like, "All right. I mean, believe what you want, but watch my videos, watch my Hinge videos, watch my cold approach videos. Have I ever pulled up on a girl that's not attractive? Have I ever gotten a match? Like you've seen the matches. They're all at least 6s, 7s, and above. So why would somebody, I guess what I'm trying to say is you need to stop listening to other male face ratings and start actually looking at stuff. Listen to a female's opinion on how attractive you are. Female gaze, guys, not male gaze. And that's kind of why the black pill is so stupid. It's like so many people pay for facial ratings. It's just like, why? Why would you get a male face rating from Wheat Waffles or one of these other black pilled creators? Like, what the hell do they know? They're not looking at you from that female gaze standpoint, right? In terms of a face rating. It's really stupid. That's just one thing I wanted to bring up. And don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, definitely, take other people's advice. Obviously, myself, other men, in terms of what you can do to looks max as a man, of course. But at the end of the day, when it comes to an actual like facial rating, unless unless you're into women, it's stupid. Or sorry, unless you're into men, it's stupid to be like, yo, let me pay this man so he can give me a facial rating. It's like, doesn't make any sense, right? So, anyways, quick rant right there. Yeah. All right, let's answer some of these questions. What is your number one men's cologne do you recommend? I would say anything. Aqua di Gior is okay. There's this really good cologne called Stronger with You. Yeah, I'd say Stronger with You is the one that is my go-to. Aqua di Gior, any Versace one is pretty solid. I don't pay too attention to like the specific brand names. I just go to the store, whichever one kind of just smells good. In my opinion, I just pick that one. But the two ones that I've used for the longest time are Stronger with You, and any of like Versace brand has been pretty solid for me. Yeah, I'd say those two are my go-to. My number one go-to has always been this cologne named Stronger with You. Look it up. Good stuff. What's the best way to host a home barbecue party that would impress the females? I mean, are you a good cook? I mean, hey, if you have a strong social circle with tons of females, I mean, go for it. But obviously, I'd say if you can really chef it up and make a dope ass barbecue party, then yeah, women will love that for sure. If you can chef it up, use that to your advantage. Women love a guy who can cook. Drop your questions, dating, self improvement, men's lifestyle in the chat. I actually can go find the one that I'm using right now. I'll be back. Forgot the name of it. Yeah, this is the one I'm using like right now. This Versace. It's pretty good. Smells really good. But just 2 sprays. That's it. Don't be showering yourself with cologne. Yeah, I've always been big on Stronger With You is the brand name of one of them, and Versace is pretty good. But in terms of your barbecue question, I mean, if you can chef it up, just make dope food. Make sure your place is clean, of course. Maybe get a dog. But yeah, if you have a social circle like that, props to you, man. Drop your questions in the chat if you got any. Dating, self improvement, drop them in the chat. Guys are quiet as usual. For those of you guys that are currently watching, or those of you guys that end up watching this later on down the road, drop a comment and let me know what you think about the recent whiteboard videos. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about the recent whiteboard videos and the new video style. Curious. You can either drop them in the chat or drop a comment below if you watch this later. For those of you guys that end up watching this later on, you pronounce Versace wrong. It's Versaka. Versaka. Donatella hates it when people pronounce her last name by saying Versace. Oh well. Cry me a river. My bad. Apologies. Yeah, I'm not exactly Jeremy Fragrance over here. with the pronunciation. And that's a guy who like knows his colognes, the back of his hand. Guys, got any questions, dating, self-improvement? Drop them in the chat. The Justice Buster Batsuit. What's going on, man? How are you? It's pronounced Versace. Got it. Thanks for the correction. That's good to know. I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. Versace. Got any questions? Drop them in the chat, or you could join the stream by clicking the pinned comment. There we go. Versace. Interesting. We don't got any more questions. Might wrap this one pretty early. I know I chose a very early time when a lot of people aren't online, but let's see. I'll give you the full. We'll give it at least an hour, to be fair. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. What do I think of mewing? I think the best thing is to just lose facial fat by hitting the gym and going on a diet. I personally never tried mewing. I know people that have tried it and it's worked for them, but nothing beats just working hard, getting your diet in check, getting a high protein diet, lower calories if you're cutting, hitting the gym, losing that body fat. It'll lean out your face. But I know people who've done it. It can work, but nothing beats just working hard, going to the gym, getting leaner. So yeah, definitely could work. But at the end of the day, no substitute for hard work. You know, if you're overweight and skinny fat, just mewing alone isn't going to do anything. But I know people who've done it and they said they've seen results. I personally have never tried it. But at the same time, I've never had a girl be like, your jawline could look a little bit sharper. I'm not going to go out on a date with you. Or, oh, your jawline isn't that attractive. I'm not going to go out on a date with you, right? I never had a woman ever say that to me. So your biggest advantage is just getting into shape, developing that sex appeal, becoming more attractive, not focusing on all these little micro things like mewing and chewing gum. Sure, could they help a little bit? Yeah. But your biggest bang for your buck in terms of getting that attraction from women is just developing a solid physique. You got any more questions? Drop them in the chat, or you could talk to me directly by joining the live stream by clicking the pinned comment in the chat. How's your guys' dating lives so far? How's everything going in the dating market for you? Actually, we can make this kind of fun. Let's see. Since there's not too many people watching, the Justice Buster. I'm curious, how'd you find my channel and my content? What was the video that you found me through? Make this a little bit more engaging. Those of you that are just tuning in now, drop your questions in the chat. Yeah, a lot of people who are like autistic looks maxers, they'll talk about mewing for like days, right? And they'll talk about mewing and what's the other thing called? Thumb pulling and doing all this other stuff. But again, it's kind of just like just drop your body fat, go to the gym, get into better shape. You'll lose the facial fat, you know? Be right back. Any further questions? Drop them in the chat. Also, drop some comments. Let me know what video that you found my channel from, or what was the video that made you subscribe, and how did you find my channel? I'm also curious about that kind of stuff too. But for those of you guys that might be watching this for the first time, normally do these live streams every other Thursday at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. I'm doing it a little bit about what was I gonna say? Yeah, I usually do these live streams at 8 p.m. every other Thursday. Every other Thursday, 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. Today I'm doing it a little bit earlier. Had some obligations come up in the evening that I got to attend to. But yeah, for those of you guys that end up watching this earlier, it's usually every other Thursday, 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. Damn, I'm like out of it today. So kind of tired. All right. I watched Chad Tag, a YouTuber who makes videos about looks maxing and mewing. He's an Indian mainlander, speaks in Hindi and might be Gujarati. That's what's up, man. I don't know who that is, but that's kind of cool. He speaks Hindi. Making me curious now. I'll take a look. If you want to join the stream, go ahead, click the pinned comment in the chat. Yeah, I just pulled up his channel. That's interesting. I've never heard of this dude. Anyways, yeah, not getting distracted. For you guys that end up watching this later in the future, if you want any videos that you want me to make specifically, drop them in the comments. If there are any video ideas that you'd like me to make, drop them in the comments for those of you guys that are currently watching or those of you guys that end up watching the stream later. Again, post any questions you have in the chat. Go ahead and answer them. It's been pretty dry today. But I'll keep that noted for the future that 4 p.m. is kind of a shit time to live stream. Yeah, so thundering rain's getting pretty bad where I'm at right now. So if I end up dropping off or something, it's because of the outside. It's like it's so weird. It's like thundering, but it's like sunny at the same time. Some weird ass weather. But yeah, pretty dry stream. Not many people on. In the future, yeah, let me know what type of videos you'd like me to make in terms of topics. If you got any specific type of video you want me to make, drop a comment. And those of you guys, couple guys watching right now, if you got any other questions, drop them in the chat. I think I'll just go for another like 10 minutes or so. 4 p.m. wasn't the best time. But normally I do these at 8 p.m. So hopefully next time will be a bit better for this. But hey, still getting it in, right? Giving you guys your free Q&A. Ask me anything. Or those of you guys that end up watching this later, drop your questions in the comment section and I'll go ahead and answer them. Otherwise, we'll give this like 10 more minutes, then we'll call it a day. But yeah, starting next stream, so every other Thursday, gonna go back to doing these 8 p.m. US Eastern time. That's what I found to be the best time. All right, here we go. East Asian dudes date easier now. Even average ones pull women out of their league. K-pop boosted their image worldwide. When's our turn? You know what's funny about K-pop is, oh god, this is a fun. All right, story time. There was a girl in college that I hooked up with my sophomore year. Beautiful, 25. Yeah, fast forward about 12 years later, she's actually dating a guy who's Asian, Korean, K-pop, that type of background. And that guy's not even that handsome. She actually got the Asian fever. She ended up traveling to Korea or something one summer, comes back and legit just ditches her, Chad looking men that she was usually into, ditches them and just exclusively dates Asians. It's kind of wild how the Asian fever works on some women. I don't know. I thought that was wild. She might just be an exception, but sometimes when you spend, I guess, a good amount of time isolated and away from your culture and transition to like another culture, you develop like a fever, I guess you could say, for a specific archetype of girl, right? And vice versa. If you're a girl and you travel somewhere, you develop something for a guy of a certain ethnicity. So that's always that. I just thought that was interesting because this girl, she used to just pretty much, she would never date like Oriental Asians, But then it's like she goes to Korea, comes back, and then she's just like all over Asian dudes. But yeah, man. When's our turn? Well, it's always your turn, my friend. Just make yourself as attractive as you possibly can. Hit the gym, get leaner, fashion, grooming, style, to work on your social skills. It's always your turn as long as you're constantly leveling up. You shouldn't have to wait for, K-pop influences, right? I mean, I guess if you're looking at social media in terms of South Asians, I mean, there's that dude from One Direction. What's his name? Zayn Malik. Um, there's that other dude from like the Slumdog Millionaire movie, right? But you should never have to wait for, you should never wait for some like breakout moment, right? Always level up, become the best possible version of yourself. Style, grooming, fashion, physique, all of that. Always be leveling up, man. Zayn. Oh, that's his name. Yeah, Zayn. How's it going, man? Slice of Sabi. Have you been? I don't think there will be one soon, man, with half of India. Zero civic sense. Oh, are you talking about like a cultural icon or social cultural icon? Who knows? Um, but yeah, just get off the social media, focus on yourself, becoming the best possible version of yourself, as I always say. Become the most attractive, confident, best possible version of yourself. But yeah, bro, I appreciate your support. I know you're in like my school community and stuff. We have to be an outlier. You should always become that outlier male for sure. All right, here we go. Now we got people tuning in. All right. I built muscles after my call with you, and it's such a difference. Good, man. I'm glad you took my advice and you're hitting the gym hard and becoming more attractive. And by the way, he was a guy that's in my school community. If you guys want to take your dating life to the next level, click the link in the description and check out my school community. This is my school community helping single South Asian men level up their dating life. You can check out the school community, South Asian Warriors, by clicking the first link in the description. It's a great school community. helping you guys get more attraction from women, helping you with your dating life so you can become the best possible version of yourself. Whether you want a rotation of girls or you want to settle, get a girlfriend, so you want to become more attractive, level up your dating life, join my school community, South Asian Warriors, link in the description. Let's go. Hey, bro, what can we do when we see long South Asians behaving badly on social media? I would just ignore it and get off social media and not pay attention to it. Maybe dislike and report the video and then just get off social media, honestly. Social media isn't helping anyone's cause to, there's a lot of crap on social media these days, especially how crazy it's gotten. Tune that stuff out. Unless you're a content creator and you have to be on it and you have to post, stop listening to that social media crap. I'm a mainlander. That's what's up, man. Dang, if you're a mainlander, what time is it in India right now? It's probably like isn't it like 3 o'clock in the morning for you guys right now? Yeah, man. I brought 2 Finnish girls at the same time home as they were, bro, you have biceps. Hey, I'm telling you, body game is real. The biggest way you could stand out as a South Asian guy is to get ripped, build a better body, get rid of that body fat, lean down, build a lean aesthetic muscular physique. The second your body starts getting more in shape, you've knocked out that first pillar of looks maxing, right? Really looks maxing, your physique is always going to be your base. So, hey, man, I'm glad you're hitting the gym and you're seeing the results, man. Women often say Indian or South Asian men give creepy vibes. Again, man, be the outlier, be the exception. The more attractive you make yourself, the more options you're going to have regardless of your race. Never forget that. So, yeah, most Indian men are not that attractive. I mean, I'll be honest. They have horrible social skills. They're creepy. They smell bad. All these like negative stereotypes. They don't present themselves well. And as a result, their dating life isn't the best, right? Especially younger Indian men. A lot of Indian men in the West as well. It's a problem for sure, which is basically the reason I made this channel, right? Helping you all with the problem, a huge problem that Indian men have. It's that they struggle with their dating life, right? I solved it. Now I'm giving you guys all the game, all the solutions, how to become more attractive, how to present yourself better. So yeah, the whole purpose of my channel is to help you shatter the negative stereotypes, stop being creepy, dress better, get into shape, become more attractive, become that outlier male, increase your sexual market value, and become that guy. And to show you that even if you're brown, you also can shatter that stereotypes. You also can become more attractive, level up your dating life, right? You can really, really just take your life to the next level, take your dating life to the next level. It shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm Indian, I'm doomed. Anyone can improve their dating life, regardless of whatever race you are. Getting into it now. Dang, where were you guys earlier when I was just in dead silence, just twiddling my thumbs, man? Now the questions are coming in. This is more like it now. The club staff asked me out in Sweden. She was hot, though, but she was like, wait, what? A club staff asked me out in Sweden. She want hot, though, but she was like, I like hot Latinos. I am 42 Indian uncle. I want to translate that, but come on, man, better English before you type into these chats, bro. But I'm glad the girl found you attractive. 2:21 a.m. Okay. Dang, man, you should be asleep. Are you on like the Ashton Hall routine where you wake up at 2 a.m. or something? I guess if you even are, though, Ashton Hall doesn't watch YouTube videos at 2 a.m., but dang. Hey, man, I mean, props to you for tuning in at 2 a.m. 100% agree, man. I don't read comments on those anti-India videos. It affects your brain, man. You have to keep leveling up. Yeah, and it's getting worse. I mean, Now there's like AI apparently, like AI videos where they're just like putting all these weird edits and shit on Indian men. It's like it's getting worse. So the best thing you can do, unless you're like a content creator, which I know you are, but again, even if you are, it's like just post your content on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then get the hell off the platform. You know what I mean? That's like the best thing you can do. And my hair looks kind of fucking weird today on these angles. Sorry. As South Asian, we like to complain about racism, yet our own people are obsessed with caste system. I've seen Gujarati girls worst with this. Yeah, Gujarati girls are kind of interesting. I tried to date one once. It didn't go very well. I don't want to bring too much of the situation into that, but I don't want to describe too much of what happened. But the two Gujarati girls that I dated in the past, let's just say it wasn't the healthiest relationship. I'll leave it at that. But yeah. One 19-year-old kept touching man in club. Her friends cock blocked me, but bro, biceps are key. What? I mean, I'll agree with you. Yeah, physique for sure. Okay, comments are coming in. Here we go. In Finland, half the Indians are smell like shit. I mean it, bro. They need to understand. I'm not surprised, bro. They need me to help them. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like basic hygiene and grooming practices also go such a long way, you know? I made so many videos on this, especially in my looks maxing videos. Every little thing when it comes to cutting your nails, right? Cleaning your teeth, flossing so you got the healthy gums, you know, shaping up your beard, getting a haircut, shampoo, shower every single day, right? You know, I mean, body wash, soap, shampoo, showering like 2 times a day. Just basic hygiene practices people can't follow. I mean, if you can just get your hygiene right alone, that'll separate you from a lot of Indian men, just saying, in addition to the physique. You guys are funny. Guys, listen to this dude, please. Appreciate it. Hey, man, as successful as I am for a reason. I mean, presentation is key, you know? I'm not trying to just brag, but like I say, you know, I don't know if you guys can see this, but when you listen to my advice, let's just say there's a lot of abundance you get from listening to my advice. See, Hinge starts sending you messages saying you can't swipe with any more people because you're over the limit. But anyways, hopefully I didn't give you guys too much info. Like, hopefully none of these girls gave their like number and you guys screenshot this and be creepy later. Who knows? Hold on. Okay, never mind. We're good. But yeah, my results speak for themselves. You know, some of you guys in the comments, I swear, you're like, you a 5 out of 10. I'm like, hold on. Would a 5 out of 10 be getting results like this on Hinge? I mean, yeah, 5 out of 10, my ass. Get out of here. Anyways, yeah. My cousin will move to the US this September. He's 20 years old. Hey, man. The US is tough when it comes to dating for minorities, but listen to my advice and you'll be just fine. Become the most attractive possible version of yourself. Tell them to get a little bit more accumulated as well into American culture too, just a little bit. You'll be fine. See what else. She wasn't hot. And he, though I am Latino because of my muscles and dressing, she didn't relay me to India. Dang, man, I wish you could clean up your phrases. She thought she the. All right. Anyways, nah, but for real, I appreciate you, man. I've seen you in my school community. I know I've talked to you a bunch of times. I appreciate the support for sure. Do you face racism? I face racism all the time. I mean, it's not crazy. When I was younger in middle and high school, I would face it a lot, but everyone's immature, at that age. But every once in a while, I don't go out anymore at night, but when I used to go in like nightlife, there always be guys just being kind of like obnoxious. They get jealous seeing me like talking to girls as like an Indian guy. Probably because like I was doing something and they weren't seeing any results. So automatically it's like the dude's instinct to like take digs or shots at people that like they can't have, or basically take digs or shots at people who are getting like what they can't have. Stuttered a little bit there. But yeah, no, I would face it every once in a while, but you kind of just got to ignore that shit. Just know you're better than them. Women can change their POV based on who you are and how you get them thinking. Facts. Put on fucking cologne. Absolutely. All right, we got Urban Anik. Yo, I've seen your like boxing clips on IG, man. You working hard. You got some good skills. I like it. I like seeing your stories, bro. You got to get other Indian people on that same fitness grind. You're crushing it on there. You have a solid physique too. I like watching your stories. Very motivational. But yeah, what's the best way to reset the Hinge algorithm? It really depends, man. Like, how bad is your situation? Um, I think you could just delete your profile and start from scratch if you're getting absolutely nothing. But I would just see like, if maybe, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily you're shadow banned or anything like that. I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look at maybe like your photos and see like what you're doing, why you might not be getting that many matches, or maybe you are getting matches, or you're just asking this question in general. But yeah, I mean, I think the best reset would be just to do a hard reset and start from scratch, use like a different email. Or something that works is you could try the paid subscription of Hinge. And if you have quality photos, but you're still like not getting matches on Hinge, even with the paid subscription, there's a good chance then you may possibly be shadow banned for whatever reason. But I think the best way to reset is legit do like a complete reset on Hinge. I don't do that many complete resets. When I don't feel like getting on dating apps, sometimes I just pause and then I just like, yeah, I just pause it. And then I like come back. That's another way, that technique that I found has worked. When I'm tired of like using and swiping on dating apps, right? I just pause my profile for like 2 weeks, then I unpause it, and then I've noticed when you unpause it, you start seeing more. Your profile starts getting shown more to women on there, if that makes sense. So try a variety of those things. If you don't have the paid subscription, try the paid subscription. Pause your profile for 2 weeks, then re-download Hinge and unpause it. See if that helps, makes a difference. Otherwise, you might just have to start from scratch completely and do like a hard reset if you're not getting that many matches on there. All right. Bro, my payment failed today. Not sure why. We'll try again. Oh, your school payment? Yeah, that's weird, man. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, maybe try a different credit card or something. I'm not sure. Maybe your credit card is expired or something like that. But yeah, yeah, see if you can use a different card, or I guess try again. I'm not really sure. Hopefully it'll go through. Looks is important. Absolutely. Gets you into the door. But so is game too, to develop the relationship and go forward. If a little spike in my tricep can do so much, what will happen when I drop from 112 kg to 80 kg? I am still a fat fuck. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to be leaner. The more leaner you are, as you continue to drop that body fat percentage, man, it's just going to become more attractive for sure. Keep hitting the gym, watch your diet. A lot can happen. Guys are more racist than girls. That's facts. White toys are the biggest joke of all. They profit Indian men having a small. Yeah, don't pay attention to the hate, my friend. I appreciate the love, bro. I'll start a coaching business soon. That's what's up. What type of coaching are you thinking of doing? Like boxing or like fitness or dating, or let me know. I used to get a lot of matches. I'm shadow banned right now. I get way less matches than a year ago. Yeah, man, try pausing your Hinge for like a couple weeks and then unpausing it. See if that makes a difference. Or try using the paid subscription, or just start like do like a hard reset, delete and redo your profile. Um but yeah, I mean, if you don't, even though might be getting less matches, I don't want to say you're shadow banned. It could just be like a seasonal thing, because shadow banned usually means you don't get a single match for like 6 months. That's like shadow ban. I don't want to use Hinge. How can I meet women naturally? Cold approach, coffee shops, bookstores, grocery stores, join like a club, like a run club, book club. Um, yeah, I'd say, go to a park, go to areas where women usually are, right? So coffee shops, bookstores, joining certain clubs like improv classes, salsa classes, book clubs, fitness classes, organic healthy grocery stores, health and wellness expos. Even just going to the park on like a nice day, you'll see lots of beautiful women. Walk around your city, your closest city, you'll see lots of beautiful women. You don't have to use just Hinge or whatever dating apps there are. In fact, I recommend cold approach over any of these methods, honestly. I say cold approach is the best way to meet women right there and then, right? You don't gotta wait on the app, checking your stupid little phone for like notifications. It's authentic. You're right then and there. You don't have to worry about any catfish BS, right? She knows what you look like right then and there. You know what her looks like, what she looks like. Cold approach, man. Daytime based cold approach, or just joining, classes, clubs, right? So running club, book club, salsa class, throwing in a little bit of social circle combined with like daytime cold approach. That is my honest number one way to meet women. Classic daytime cold approach throughout your day, right? Don't be like spending hours just going to a mall and gaming and walking around for like 3-4 hours like a freaking weirdo, like the old school PUA guys, right? But throughout your day, I'm sure you leave your house. I'm sure you go to the grocery store. I'm sure you get coffee. I'm sure you walk around in your city from time to time, right? I'm sure you'll see there's women all around that aren't there, that are just naturally just gonna be there, right? That cross your paths, that are sitting down, maybe at the bench. Maybe when you go to the store, the mall, you'll see a girl, right? Just go up and introduce yourself. And I know that's the hardest part, but if you can just go up and have the balls to just introduce yourself, you're already ahead of 90% of guys that have never done that in their entire life. So just when you get the balls to go up, introduce yourself, say hi, boom, right? Already ahead of 90% of guys. Don't be so focused on the outcome. Don't be like, oh, what if I don't get the number? Oh, what if she doesn't like me? What if she rejects me? F that. Who cares? Stop focusing so much on potential rejections and the outcome. Just live your life. Be social. F it, right? Pull up on that girl. If you see her, you think she's cute, go ahead, introduce yourself. Ask her how her day's going. Simplest opening line, man. By the way, if you guys want to talk to me directly, click the pinned comment in the chat and join the stream directly, talk to me. I will try to come after my cousin settled there. Cool. I am 5.8 feet. Oh, 5'8". There's nothing wrong with being 5'8", man. One of my good friends is like 5'6", and he crushes it with women. Yeah, it's a little harder if you're a shorter guy, but it's not impossible. There are women out there that don't mind. There are women out there that do mind. There are women out there that date taller dudes. There are women out there that date and prefer shorter dudes, believe it or not. It doesn't matter, you know? Yeah, nothing in itself of the height matters. Control what you actually can control. Don't be scared, you know? 5'8" isn't even that short, first of all, right? Stop worrying about how tall you are. Start actually taking charge of the things you actually can control, and you'll see the results. How do you handle the "I have a boyfriend" objection? I mean, honestly, she wasn't interested in you. Regardless, maybe she had a boyfriend, maybe she didn't. I just say, no worries, take it as a compliment, have a good day, and then just keep going with it, you know? Simple as that. No worries, take it as a compliment, have a good one, and then you go about your day. Apologies if I'm a little slow answering these questions and stutter a little bit. It's hard answering these on the spot without just thinking about it for a little bit of time, right? So, I mean, I guess shout out to the streamers that do this on a daily basis, right? Giving you the answer spot on, like right off the top of their head. I don't really do much live streaming other than this once every other week thing. So, hey, I mean, streaming's kind of hard. Props to them. You just talk to you guys constantly nonstop without stopping. I wear the Steve Madden shoes, increase your by 3 inches. It's honestly not bad advice if you're a super short guy, but the thing is, like, regardless if you need to buy these shoes or not, right? Control what you actually can control. Don't be focusing so much on the height and be like, I'm too short. I, can't fit in. Like, I'm not tall enough, right? I wouldn't even just be so focused on. Don't be so focused on something you can't control, right? I wouldn't even really bother buying these shoes, I mean, yeah, maybe on like a night out or something. Yeah, go ahead, wear some boots, maybe wear these shoes if you want. But at the end of the day, if you're comfortable in your skin and you've worked on yourself and you've maximized everything that you possibly can control, right? You're not going to feel so, down about yourself if you're not going to feel so down about yourself if you're not the tallest person in the world. I added, I only give once chance to take this as a compliment. The boyfriend objection, a little slap on top, but not sure if I should enjoy saying it. I mean, you're going to get rejected in life, man, right? I mean, at the end of the day, don't take it so personally. Maybe she had a rough day. Maybe you're not her type. Maybe she doesn't find you attractive. Maybe she actually does have a boyfriend, right? That's always is actually possible. Not all women are just lying like that, right? So whatever it is, just take it as a learning experience. You're getting better with your social skills. Don't take it so personally, right? At least you're doing something 90% of men don't do by just cold approaching. So you learn from it, you move on. No worries, take it as a compliment. Have a good one. That's it, right? You need to collab with other people. Who are some guys you would like me to collab with? I actually reached out to someone today to see if they could come on like a live stream. I don't know if this person will, but let's just say if this person does come on, I have a feeling a lot of you will be watching this stream. Don't want to give too much away, but it was kind of a reach. This person has like over 800K subscribers, but F it. But yeah, who are some people you want me to collab with? I'm curious. Who do you think what other content creators in this space do you watch that reminds me of, I guess, myself? Or did I word that right? What other content creators do you guys watch that remind you of a guy like me, I guess. Or who else do you think like I would do a good collab with? That's what I'm trying to say. Who do you want me to bring on this channel? How common are Asian men, white? How common are Asian men, white women couples compared to Indian men, white women couples? I mean, listen, it's not that common. At least in the US, it's not that common, but it's still more common than other parts of the world, but it's not impossible, right? And that kind of has to do with race niche appeal. Certain races, just in general, tend to be more attractive to certain races. But again, it's the same principles. And I always say this on my videos. The more attractive that you make yourself, right, the more options you're going to have with women, regardless of your race, regardless of their race, right? So although it's not as common, it's not impossible, right? Always focus on becoming the best possible version of yourself. Justin Mark was my friend 5 years ago. I don't know too much about that guy. All I know is he like kind of fakes people out by like acting like he actually gets girls, but then he just like all he is a club promoter, and he just uses the girls like in the background to make it look like he's loaded with women. But listen, I have a friend that's in this club promoting business, and I actually showed him Justin Mark's profile, and he was like, yeah, that guy is a really good marketer. More than 80% of those girls he probably has not gotten with. And I agreed, right? He's just using them as like clickbait marketing. That's how it works. And a lot of Indian men unfortunately are very gullible to this, right? They think this guy gets girls, but really he's a club promoter. He's literally doing his job, right? And as a club promoter, it gives him access to a lot of these women, right? A lot of these women like to go out in these nightclubs. And as a promoter, it's easy to see him in an environment with tons of beautiful women, right? Degenerate women because they're in the club, but beautiful women nevertheless. I guarantee you, most of you guys, if you want to become a club promoter, you'd probably have a similar situation, similar exposure, right? It's not that hard, but don't let this guy's marketing fool you. That's all I gotta say. What's your experience with dating Latina women? Honest opinion. Very nice, very feminine, very respectful. I don't have anything bad to say about dating Latino women. I say be careful going overseas because a lot of these women understand now this whole passport bro movement, right? Be careful when you go overseas, but whatever country you're in right now, I mean, I don't know what country you're in right now, but in the US, though, from my experience, and the Latino women that I've dated, they're all very nice, very respectful, very feminine. I don't have anything bad to say. He used to ride with me in my Beamer when I lived in Toronto. He used to meet me as I had subs. Yeah, that's true. Maybe he was probably chasing clout. I don't know. Does he still mess with you? Anyways, I don't want the stream to be about this dude, Justin Mark or whatever. I can hit you up with him if that was the guy. I think I'm good, man. I don't know. Me and Justin and Mark, I feel like have our advice is different on some things. I'm sure a lot of it is the same situation, but it's the same principle. But I know a lot of it is different. He really promotes nightlife and going out to clubs and bars and night game, which kind of makes sense because he's a promoter. I, on the other hand, am more daytime, holistic, healthy environment, self-improvement oriented, right? I think if you just make yourself healthier through self-improvement habits, become the best possible version of yourself, meet women during the day, right? Go hard on the self-improvement stuff. Your results from self-improvement will show, and it'll turn way more women on in these more natural, holistic environments than having to, just go and chase women at a dirty, stinky club, right? So we're kind of different in that aspect. I'm sure if he came on here, we probably go back and forth a little bit. But I could probably counter argue every single point he has. I mean, the guy kind of seems like a little bit of a degenerate, if I'm being completely honest. Nightlife is stupid, in my opinion. I know like I get a lot of heat for saying this, but you don't need the nightlife, right? There's so many opportunities during the day to meet quality women instead of yelling at the top of your lungs in a dirty ass bar or club, right? Talking to women in sober environments, healthy, holistic environments that you actually enjoy being in, than trying to, bump into people, yell at the top of your lungs in like a crowded, stinky nightclub, right? So I think Asians are becoming more common due to K-pop. He said in my BMW years ago that fake it to make it. I recall clearly. It's interesting. Justin is a funny dude, blah, blah, blah. All right. I don't really care about this dude. Let's see. By the way, if you want to talk to me directly, you want some looks maxing advice, you want some self-improvement advice, dating advice directly, click the pinned link in the comments to join the stream directly and talk to me. I can give you the looks maxing advice right up front if you want. Or I could just help you directly if you want to talk to me, just directly about anything, dating, self-improvement. Click the pinned comment, join the stream. Second advice, be careful, but they are awesome. Latinas and Viet/Filipino girls too, be careful. But if you get a good one, they are awesome. Agreed. He will respond to me, but he has grown too big. Maybe not. Also, you're right. He's a promoter, but his advice isn't bad too. He's very fake though. Yeah, he's just annoying on Instagram. I mean, he grinded, and I think the guy's actually a millionaire, so you got to respect that a little bit. What do you think about marrying overseas to marry a Pakistani as a Latino revert Muslim? That's what to date brown girls? Yeah, so honestly, a lot of Pakistani women, kind of a harsh truth, they don't really like reverts. They'd rather prefer the exact. I'm not going to say every Pakistani woman is like this, but a lot of them tend to like date within their same culture, right? Even if you're a Muslim revert, if you're not Pakistani, they kind of just bat an eye at you. Even if you're Indian or Bangladeshi or some other brown South Asian type of South Asian, Pakistanis really are super narrow, or most Pakistani women, they have this quality where they just like only kind of, a lot of them just tend to date other Pakistani men. That's kind of Indian women aren't really like that. But I know what Pakistani women, they tend to go for their exact like archetype of race of guy. It'll be harder. It's not going to be impossible, but it'll be a little bit harder. Just remember that a lot of Pakistani women, they really like, they're kind of like owned by their dad in a sense, especially the ones that are in Pakistan. Their family, their dad is so strict. Like their lifestyle is so strict. A lot of their family just really wants them to just marry into their own Pakistani culture, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, a lot of Pakistani women just they stick to Pakistani men. It's harder for sure, but it's not impossible. Just got to find the right one. Going to marry Desi, trying to marry into Desi woman. Listen, there's a lot of hot Indian women out there, right? You don't gotta stick necessarily to Pakistanis, but Hey, I mean, a lot of more Indian. I feel like Indian women are more open. Pakistani women tend to be more like narrowed into Pakistani men. Um, but it's not impossible, right? I would suggest downloading. There's an app called Dilmil. It's the dating app for South Asian men. Dilmil. Dilmil. It's a dating app for South Asians in general. See if you could get onto that. I'm curious, a non-Desi person getting onto that, seeing what happens. Just some game. You need some Pakistani friends. Yeah, that could help with the social circle. Be easier, especially if you want to marry Pakistani women. Facts. Bangladeshi/Indian Muslim men have a hard time to date with Pakistani men. I think that was a typo, bro. You mean women, right? We're all straight here. But yeah, Bangladeshi/Indian Muslim men do have a hard time dating Pakistani women. Women. Pakistani women are also great admirers of their own men. Facts. Be right back and get some more water. Muzmatch is also good for Muslims. Yeah. Muzmatch is pretty good. For South Asians though, nothing beats Dilmil. I've used Muzmatch a little bit here and there. The women on there are very, very feminine though. Like very traditional, very feminine. If you're more like red pilled, I would say Muzmatch is a really good app for the type of girl that you're looking for. And I'm not a red pill guy necessarily, but if you're more lean towards the red pill, I'd say like on a lot of things, then Muzmatch is probably the best bet if you're looking for a super like traditional feminine like type of girl, right? A lot of women on Muzmatch are just, they don't mess around. They're serious, right? They're not out there partying, drinking, doing dumb stuff, right? So, yeah, Muzmatch is a good app for Muslims. How about marrying Bengali/Indian girls? And by the way, are you Bengali? As a Hispanic revert, what race will be the easiest to marry from a Muslim majority country aside from Southeast Asia? Yeah, I am Bengali. I'm Indian, but I'm from like the Bengali part of India, Kolkata. My mom's side, however, is all from Bangladesh. So yeah, I am Bengali. See, second part of your question, as a Hispanic revert, what race will be easiest to marry from a Muslim majority country aside from Southeast Asia? It's a good question. I haven't really dated Muslim women. When it comes to dating Muslim women, I haven't dated any that were not South Asian. Um, Maybe like Morocco, the North African countries, maybe because the thing is like a lot of Middle Eastern girls, like Persian girls, Iranian girls, they're also a little bit like Pakistani girls as they tend to just date like within their like own race. Um, I've heard a lot of good things about Moroccan girls. I don't know necessarily where you can meet them outside of like actually going to Morocco though. But yeah. Yeah, I suggest trying out maybe the South Asian dating app or like Muzmatch and see what happens. Let's see. Do you suggest any good scents? The ones that I talked about earlier. I need to buy. Right now, I'm using this Versace. But there's the other scent that I used, Stronger with You. That one's my favorite. Just look it up. It's called Stronger with You, the cologne. That one's probably my all-time favorite. How do you deal with approach anxiety? Honestly, you're always going to have a little bit of approach anxiety. The feelings of just like a little bit of nervousness and anxiousness are always going to be there, at least a little bit when you see that cute girl, but you kind of just got to like count to 5 and then just go and do it, you know? Honestly, what I used to do was I'd say to myself, I'd be like, I'd count to 5, but instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would be like, I'm not a bitch. 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 And after the 5th time of saying to myself, I'm not a bitch, I would go and just do the approach. It's a little different than the conventional counting to yourself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 approach. But you kind of mentally like train yourself that after you count to 5, you just gunshot, go ahead and do it. So yeah, try that. Try the I'm not a bitch method. Go to North African countries if you want to marry. Oh, dude, just watch the cold approach module and do the systematic desensitization exercises in the South Asian Warrior School. Yeah, try that, man. You're in the program. Do the exercises I tell you to do. They help with approach anxiety in the cold approach module. Go to North African countries if you want to marry. It might be easier dating South Asian women. I'm not too hip with North Africa, but I guess yeah, if you're into the Moroccan, Egyptian archetype. I'm a Bangladeshi mainlander. Might be easier to date North African women than South Asian women. Yeah, I'm actually curious now that I think about it. I don't know. Not too familiar with North Africa. That's what's up, man. What part of oh, you said that in the next one. I'm from Jashore district. That's cool. Never been there. Never been to that part. Well, I don't know actually. I've been to Gulshan. I don't know if you know where that is. If you're even near there. Bro, I have the same scent right now. Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I actually got this from got this at like the airport of when I went to Peru actually. Yeah. It's like pretty cheap. I love the idea I'm not a bitch idea. That's what's up, man. That's where Rabindranath Tagore's wife's from. That's what's up. Just sure. All right. We'll give it like, do any of y'all want to come on for some looks maxing advice or nah? I'll go for another 10 minutes and then call it a day. Apologies, by the way, in the beginning of this stream, I was a little bit out of it. So for those of you guys that watch this from start to finish or watch this later on repeat, yeah, I was kind of out of it in the beginning of this stream. But yeah, apologies for the slow start. Just sure. All right. Any questions? Dating, self-improvement, men's lifestyle, drop them in the chat. Have a good night, bro. Oh, Slice of Sabi, I was gonna ask you what happens on school when it's like trying to renew your card. It's just not the payment's not going through, or like what happens basically on your school account when you're trying to like get the payment? Like what's happening? Might as well answer this. Might as well ask this. Like what's going on with your school? Like when like the payment tries to go through, do you get like an error message from school on like your card or something, or you may have to just use a different card then. But yeah, I'm not sure. All right, I think I'll give it like 5 minutes, see if anyone else comes in. If not, we'll end the stream. Any final questions? Drop them in the chat. Drop any final questions in the chat. All right, let's give it final 60 seconds and then we out. Pretty solid stream. And again, for those of you guys who end up watching this later on, drop a like on the stream, drop a comment below. Let me know what videos you want me to make in the future for the YouTube channel. And check out the school community, man. Check out my school community. Join my school community, South Asian Warriors, helping you guys out with dating, self-improvement, becoming more attractive. Check out the school community, link in the description. Give it another 30 seconds and we out. So any final questions? If not, then we're going to end the stream. Get back to reality. All right, guys, that is it for the stream. Thank you all who tuned in. Apologies for the slow start. Apologies, I guess, in the beginning for me being kind of out of it and pretty much uttering gibberish. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate all of you that came on, said your questions. Love helping you guys out with stuff related to dating, as always. And if you're watching this later on, just drop a like for me for the stream. Drop a comment below. Check out the Skool community. Link in the description. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.